morning from Chiang Mai, which is a city in the north of Thailand. We actually came here over Christmas for a week with my family last week, and then we drove back down to Bangkok, and then we thought, hang on a second, Chiang Mai was awesome, let's go back up there. So here we are back in Chiang Mai, and yeah, we love it, obviously. It's an awesome city. There is so much to do. There's obviously a lot of touristy stuff, but it's a city, so there's heaps of stuff that locals do as well. There's a lot of things that make it a really beautiful, charming, lovely place to be. In fact, hang on, I'm just gonna wait for this plane to go. Okay, and now I've got a dog making noise at me. And if you looked at him, you'd be like, how are you making that much noise? He's this tiny little fluffy Pomeranian. Anyway, I fully thought about living here. Of all the places in Thailand, this is the place that I would want to stay long term. It just seems like a really, really livable city. It's not too busy, but it's just busy enough that you don't get bored, you know? So anyway, Sawadee Ka. I figure I'm going to share some of the best things that I have found in the city, some of the best things we've done, maybe some of the things that aren't quite so touristy that you wouldn't really see on all the lists of things to do in Chiang Mai. And number one thing is to drink coffee. If you know me, you know that's always my number one, but honestly, Chiang Mai has some really cool coffee shops. It's got a lot of like really cool bougie, like progressive, like there's a lot of really like award-winning baristas and cafes that are like really design focused. And oh, I've just reached a dead end. I'm gonna turn back around. How embarrassing, because I just said hello to a woman in her garden and now she's gonna see me walk back while filming myself. Anyway, so right now I'm gonna go off and get some coffee and show you some of the best coffee shops here in Chiang Mai. Is on its way. Kind of like Melbourne in Australia has really established itself as the coffee capital. I think Chiang Mai is kind of the coffee capital here, and it's also a real foodie capital, which I'll get to later. Anyway, yes, my microphone on my camera broke, which is why I am using this to record some audio. Also, when we were in Chiang Mai last time, I literally spent an entire week filming every single thing that we ate and drank, everything, right? To make a whole video of it. Turns out the whole time my microphone wasn't working. That's what I get for not checking as I go. But anyway, I'm gonna try and salvage some of the footage from that and then just include it in this video as well, so we can kind of like make a little mashup. So there'll be a bit of me talking to my camera and then a bit of old clips from last week when we were here. If you like coffee, there's heaps of places here for you to choose from. Oh yes, my coffee is here. Cup con ka. Let's give it a go. Yeah, that's good. I'm very happy with that. There's a few other places that I recommend for coffee in Chiang Mai, but honestly, just walk around your neighborhood. You'll definitely find something that catches your eye. Coffee shops are very personal, right? Like something that I think is a great coffee shop, you might not think is, and vice versa. I will say that Carrot Coffee in the Old Town is awesome. It's definitely like built for Instagram. You know, when you walk in somewhere and you're like, oh, this is built to have photos taken of it, but it's still, the coffee's really, really good. There's also a place called HP House, which is really cozy and lovely and a nice place to hang out. Pretty good coffee, really good smoothies, and just like a homey kind of vibe. Right now I'm staying in a neighborhood called Niman, which is where Ristretto is, and where there's also a place that I walk past that looks great called Bed Addict or something like that. I can't remember, I haven't been there yet. Number one thing to do in Chiang Mai if you like coffee is drink coffee, because there's a lot of good shit here. There's a lot of good places to explore and a lot of good coffee to drink. Anyway, my date has arrived. Perfect timing. Come sit, you gonna have a coffee? Now that I am caffeinated, well, I'm not caffeinated yet, I'm still going, but now that I'm getting to my caffeination point, we can start the day. And next up, I'm gonna talk to you about something extremely delicious called Khao Soi. Okie dokie, Khao Soi. Where do I begin with my love for Khao Soi? It begins with the first day in Chiang Mai when I said, hey, there's this dish in Chiang Mai called Khao Soi. Let's try it out. So we went and tried it out and then ate it every single day that we were in the city. That's every single day for a whole week. Even Christmas Day, Christmas lunch was a bowl of Khao Soi. It's delicious. It's so good. Basically, Khao Soi is the signature dish of Chiang Mai. I think it's a real thing in Thailand for every city or every region to have its own sort of spin on noodles. But Khao Soi is probably the best that I've had so far. It's amazing. So it's egg noodles with a curry broth, usually chicken, but often also beef or pork. and then coconut milk ladled on top, and then crunchy noodles on top of that. Oh man, like that sounds delicious, right? But it's not until you taste it and you taste like the complexities in the broth. I don't even know how to describe how good it is. And each place we went, I think we probably went to, I don't know how many places we went to in total, but we tried a lot of different types of khao soi. Each place is different, right? So like different noodles, different types of spice, different types of coconut milk, different types of crunchy noodles. It's incredible. So when you order a bowl of khao soi, you also get served a little plate of pickled veggies and shallots and lime. So you pour all the veggies in, you pour the shallots in, and then you squeeze the lime on top, you stir it up, you add in a bit more chili if you're feeling brave. It just really takes it to another level. Having the pickles in there, having the spices and the lime in there. Also, if you go to a place that they speak a little bit of English, it's pretty easy to sort of say like not too spicy or just one chili or something like that. And then that means that they'll add more coconut milk. And then you can add more spice if you feel like you need to. You can't really get it vegetarian unless you go to a specific vegetarian place because the meat is cooked in the broth and that's what makes the broth so tasty. But anyway, here's a little highlight reel of all my favorite khao sois and all the ones I reckon you should try. And then next, I'm going to talk to you about my favorite neighborhood. Khao Soi Khun Yai was probably my favorite bowl of khao soi in all of Chiang Mai, mainly because it was in this nice outdoor area, but also the broth was really, really soupy and coconutty, and it had pretty good noodles, a little bit harder than other places, but still my number one pick. Then we went to a place called Mae Pa Sri. Look at those crunchy noodles. They were so good. This one's a little bit fancy, a little bit more gourmet, still at a good price though. Really, really enjoyed this one. Couldn't recommend it more. Right in the middle of the old town. Then finally, this one just south of the old town, which was really busy. Heaps and heaps of locals there. Really, really good beef khao soi. This is the first one we tried and it's what really got me hooked. So you got to try it out for sure. Okie dokie, there's no one around, so my mask is not on. Also, how cool is this mask chain that I got? I really love it. I don't know, maybe this is just like a kid's thing, but I like it. So I am currently walking down the back streets of Niman, which is a little neighborhood, maybe a big neighborhood, just sort of outside the main old town of Chiang Mai. And I really love it here. It's definitely like the more trendy part of the city. We visited here a few times last week when we were staying in the old town. And so this time Ant and I got at a little apartment right in the heart of Niman. And it's the perfect place to be if you want to be going out, if you want to be eating, drinking, going to shops, going to restaurants, just it's really where everything is happening. There is sort of the one main road, which is Niman, I think it's called Niman Haiman, but I don't really know how to pronounce it and everyone just calls it Niman, so that's what I'm just gonna call it. So there's that one main road where there's a lot of stuff going on, and then there's lots of little offshoot roads, which are these smaller roads where you can find lots of really cool stuff. I found heaps of cool cafes walking around back here, some awesome bars. It's a really good place to base yourself if you want to kind of be in the hustle and bustle of everything and be able to go out and just find cool things on a random walk. At the moment we are not drinking because it's January and we had a huge December, but I can definitely recommend this bar called Malt, which we went to a few times. It's just this really cool bar on a side street that we found. Really cheap beers, you can just sit outside, you can order Grab, which is like Uber Eats, you can just order food to your table, and they've got live music and it's really fun. Then on that street, because we went there on Christmas Eve and then we went back on Christmas because here they don't really celebrate Christmas, it's a Buddhist country. So after Malt, we kept walking down the road that it's on and we found so many bars and they were all super, super packed. There was one called Froze, which was really good. And then there was another one, I just don't remember the name of it, that was a couple doors down. It had live music and it was so fun. We just found a random table of Thais, sat with them, hung out with them all night. It just feels like a really fun, young suburb to be in, and I really, really like it. I really, really recommend it. I think this is a place to base yourself if you come here. Oakley dokley, we are back in my Airbnb where it is quiet, where I have internet access, and I can take you through some of the best food that we ate in Chiang Mai. Obviously, I've talked about Khao Soi. That deserves its own special section for how good it is, but there are also a ton of other places that we visited that I was like, whoa, this is some of the best food I had in Thailand. Like every single meal, I'd be like, whoa, this is the meal of the trip. And then the next day I'd be like, whoa, this is the meal of the trip. Like the food here is incredible. All right, I've got my computer open here so I can make sure I'm getting everything. I'm gonna start off in the old town. There is a restaurant that we went to on the first night. It's called Mae Pa Sri restaurant and it's amazing Thai food. It's all sort of Thai food from the north region of Thailand. Obviously, that's where we are. I would really, really recommend the Tom Kha Gai, which is the coconut chicken soup. I'd also definitely recommend trying the sausage, which is a typical Chiang Mai / Northern Thai dish. It's just sliced up sausages, but they do it like in a special way up here, and it's really good, especially with the little sauce that comes with it. And if you like pork, they do pork curry here in like the traditional northern style. I think it's just called Chiang Mai pork curry on the menu. My boyfriend loves pork, loves curry, and he reckons this place was awesome. So trust him. Also, we went there for Khao Soi on the last night, obviously, and it was delicious. So a good place for Khao Soi for lunch and a big spread of dishes for dinner. Also in the old town is a Japanese place called Waco Bake, which is a bakery / cafe that does Japanese food. So Ant got this amazing chicken curry sandwich there, which was incredible. The bread was delicious, and I had this ramen. It was kind of like a mix of ramen and tom yum soup. It's like something I'd never eaten before. It was like this Japanese / Thai fusion, and it was amazing. And they had a really good iced coffee. So recommend that as a good little lunch spot. Oh man, there's a place called Cat's Kitchen, which is Thai food. And it's kind of like the place you look at the menu, you look at the place and you're like, oh, this is kind of made for foreigners. Do we really want to go here? And then you're like, wait, I am a foreigner. Let's just go here. And oh man, the food was so good. Like, the red curry I had there was the best red curry I've had in Thailand. We got a huge spread of food. We got so much stuff. It was all incredibly delicious. The staff was super friendly. I think it's a really good place to go to if you don't speak Thai, or if you're by yourself, or it's your first night in Thailand and you're not really sure what you want to order. It's just a really nice, friendly atmosphere. Such delicious food. Incredibly good prices. I think the 4 of us ate there. We had 6 dishes and it was less than 1,000 baht, something amazing like that, for like really, really good quality food and huge portions. Definitely get the red curry. The mushroom Penang was also incredible and vegetarian. Oh, the fried chicken. We ordered fried chicken. I don't know why, but it ended up just being sort of more like pan fried / grilled. It was so good. It was, whoa. Also the egg and pumpkin dish. I don't know what it was, but it was egg and pumpkin and it was really, really good. So if you need some ideas, definitely get those dishes. Okay, there is also a place for breakfast called Kai Katat, which serves up this dish called Kai Katat, which if you watched my Bangkok video, you would have seen me eat. It's just basically eggs and meat cooked up together in a pan and then served with some bread on the side. Really, really delicious. You can also just get fried eggs and bread there as well. I went there one morning and got the Kai Katat, and then I went the next morning and I got a Vietnamese noodle soup. Both of them were phenomenal. Really recommend as a good quick breakfast place. Okay, I know you didn't come to Thailand to eat Burmese food, but there is a Burmese restaurant called The Swan, which was bonkers. It was so good. Definitely the best meal we had in Chiang Mai. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable saying that. The food's amazing. It's kind of like a mix of Burmese and Thai food. The dish that I really, really, really loved there was called Mu Op, which I just ordered because I saw it on a Google review, and it's like a tofu, ginger, garlic curry. So delicious. Kind of on the other end of the spectrum, if you want to go real healthy, there's an awesome salad place called The Salad Concept where you can just build your own salads, and they've got wraps and stuff as well, and the portions are huge. It's really delicious, really good fresh ingredients. It's awesome if you've been eating Khao Soi every day for a week and you're like, whoa, I need a salad. That kind of place. Where else have we gone in Niman? What did we do last night? Oh, last night we went to this vegetarian place called Anchan. Whoa, it was amazing. I accidentally ordered way too much, but then ate all of it. It's mostly Thai food, all vegetarian, a lot of vegan options. Really recommend the miso eggplant and the yellow curry with potatoes. Oh, it was so good. Even the green curry as well. Everything there was just perfect. So yeah, that's food covered. Next up, I'm gonna really quickly go over some of the excursions that you can do in Chiang Mai. Okay, one thing about Chiang Mai is that it's awesome for travelers because there's heaps of stuff going on just outside the city. I'm talking hikes, I'm talking national parks, I'm talking amazing temples, I'm talking elephants, I'm talking whitewater rafting, I'm talking, I don't know, a bunch of other stuff that I can't think of right now. Zip lining, hiking, I probably said that already, ATVs, there's like so much going on, right? So there's a couple things that I can recommend because I've done it, and that is number one, elephants. Now, this is kind of a contentious issue because there are a lot of elephant tourism based things that aren't good for the animals. Like, you know, riding elephants, I definitely wouldn't be recommending that. There are a lot of places that exploit the elephants, obviously would not be recommending that. We went to a place called the Elephant Retirement Park, which is basically when they just get elephants and let the elephants be themselves, and they just like live and roam free within this area. They feed them, they give them medicine. We did this awesome half-day tour where we went there. We got to make up these little medicine balls made out of tamarind and rice and bananas. got to feed them to the elephants, and then we took them on a walk through the jungle, feeding them bananas and sugarcane. Oh, it was so cool. And then we went down to the river and we got to go into the water with the elephants and wash them and give them a little scrub behind the ears, and they loved it so much. It was awesome. It was really cool, really good half-day trip. Secondly, we went whitewater rafting for a day, and that was amazing. I've got no footage of this, I've got a couple of photos, but it was just such a fun day out. Really recommend it. I did it with my parents and they said it was like the best day of the whole trip. So really recommend that. And if you're into hiking, the absolute best hike you can do is called the Monk's Trail, which goes up to 2 different temples. It's long and it's hard, all uphill. Oh man, we were absolutely pooped, but the views are amazing. You go past 2 different temples. It is stunning. It's so, so beautiful. Once we got up to the top, we were like, we are not walking down. But it turns out it's really, really hard to get a taxi back. Like everyone was trying to charge us 500 baht to get back down. So it was like, let's just walk. So then we got halfway down the hill and we were like, fuck this. Actually, we weren't even halfway down. We were like maybe 20 minutes into our walk down, like, whoa, this is gonna take forever. Then someone came past in a truck and picked us up and took us down the hill, which was amazing and so helpful. So yeah, that was a really good act of service that we're gonna have to repay to someone else down the line. But yeah, those are 3 really good little day trip thingies you can do from Chiang Mai. There is so much more to do, nothing that I can personally vouch for. I cannot remember what else I have to talk about next, so let's just see what it is. If I've got anything, it'll go here, and if I don't have anything, it will not.